you are. Up and at 'em. Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about seasonal point farming. For all my veterans out there, Retem I'll know, there's a TLDR closed because of our event shop over here. When we talk to our event lady and we go to, and this is, so first things first, why do we need seasonal points to
Hi. Bye-bye.
begin with, and this is of course because of our event shop. So as many of you have probably already figured out, the fastest way to earn seasonal points is to go to combat zones and defeat enemies, simply because a large majority of the enemies are going to be seasonal enemies, especially in a combat zone. So you go there, you kill enemies over and over and over, and you rack up a ton of seasonal points. However, if you are a new player or a player without a 7-star rarity weapon yet, you may be interested in working towards a Kaiser weapon. And in order to make a Kaiser weapon, there are quite a few requirements. First of all, you need a rocks weapon unless you're making the harmonizer. The harmonizer is a very special case. As we can see here, the Kaiser harmonizer does not need a rocks weapon. You just need your 60 icicle cubes, you need your 900 icicle orbs, and you need your 150 Blizzardium. And it's because of these three items over here which may make you want to farm in the Kavaris region instead, especially for combat zones, because 900 orbs will take you a little bit of time to obtain. So if you only care about the icicle orbs, where you want to farm is going to be Beluga Rune South. So I personally prefer farming in rank 2 zones, simply because there's a chance of dropping the rocks weapons, which you're going to need in order to craft your Kaiser weapon to begin with. But depending on what rocks weapon you're using, you may realize it's not actually very expensive. For example, the rocks rod for my force players out there only cost 22,000 Meseta. So maybe you don't even care. Maybe you'll just pick up your rock weapon from the marketplace instead, because 22,000 is pretty much nothing. However, if you're a katana braver like myself, well, unfortunately the rocks katana is significantly more expensive, simply because it's a very popular class. A lot of people enjoy playing the katana braver, and thus the rocks katana has a lot of demand, which causes the price to go up. So you are looking at about 300,000 for these rocks katanas, and depending on what ship you play, the price might be even higher or even lower. It really depends on the supply and demand. And because of that, I would recommend players to farm in Beluga Runes rank 2, simply because literally go around the entire map, break all of the randomite, and you will get a metric butt ton of Blizzardium. You can see over here on my ship 3 character, I already have 151 Blizzardium, and I literally got 4. Is not exactly the best use of your time. I personally prefer to kill multiple birds with one stone. So other than the video, you told all the veterans to just be aiming for other objectives as well, whether that be leveling up or farming towards your Kaiser weapon. Because before you click off the video, there is something that I need to talk about, and that is boosters, because boosters can significantly cut down your farming time. So if you don't have a lot of time to play the game, utilizing these boosters are going to save you a ton of time. So the first booster is obtained through the event lady. You're going to talk to her, go to exchange gathering materials, and there is the Moon Gaze Dango. So the Moon Gaze Dango actually increases your seasonal points by 10% for 2 hours, and all it requires is 10 different food materials. It doesn't matter what type of food material. So you can see here when I click on it, I'm going to go to my material storage. I can scroll down. I can literally give it any type of random meat that I collect from the open world. So sure, light retem meat. We'll just give her 10 of these in order to get one of these dangos. And boom, I've received one of these dangos. If I eat it, I will gain 10% more seasonal points for all the enemies I kill for 2 hours. Very straightforward. However, other than that, there is a less obvious one, and that is when you go to the shop over here, you go to item recycle, and at the very top, there is Moon Gazing 2022 seasonal points plus 100%. At the very beginning, you might think this is a pay to win item because it says target AC scratch items. It needs 5 AC scratch items. So a lot of people are just going to blow it off and be like, oh, it's a pay to win item. It's not worth it. There's a second page here which says target SG scratch items. Remember those free scratches you get every single day by logging in? If you get duplicates of those, you'll be able to exchange all of your duplicates to NSG recycle badges. So this is again in the same menu, the exchange item selection. So once you've obtained 5 of these recycle badges, you can actually go here and you click on the second option right here. And when you go to material storage, you can see you're able to use your recycle badges in order to get this booster. Now this booster is significantly stronger as it gives you 100% more seasonal points. However, it only lasts for 1 hour, but you can stack multiple copies of this on top of each other or just pop it whenever they run out. So it is very useful. I do recommend most players to use the SG scratch item one instead of the AC one. But if you are a super whale and you've got duplicates of random fashion pieces that aren't worth anything on the market, you can feel free to exchange those AC items into regular recycle badges, and then you can do the same thing. You exchange 5 of these recycle badges in order to get this booster.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the res.
Good morning everyone, today's video is dedicated to my PlayStation 4 players, which are probably looking at the internet wondering what class should I play in NGS. Well, in today's video we're going to be going over every single class as well as their playstyles so that you can make an informed decision on what class you want to start out with, as it does impact the enjoyment of the game. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So for all my PlayStation 4 players, you guys are extremely lucky. The reason for this is because you are coming into the game as there are so many classes available. There are a total of 9 different classes available. However, something that I want to categorize before we jump into the different classes is the different damage types. So there are 3 different damage types. We have melee, ranged, as well as technique. So technique are basically spellcasters, range is basically range physical damage, and melee is melee physical damage. Those are the different damage types that we have, and it's very important for you to understand what type of damage your specific class deals, because it will affect how you augment your specific weapons. So augments are like power-ups which you can put into your weapons as well as armors in order to make it fit your specific playstyle. So as you can see here, I have plus 12% melee potency for this specific armor, which gives me 12% more damage to all of my melee type weapons. While if you look over here on my range as well as technique potency, it's only plus 2%. So depending on what weapons you decide to use and how your personal playstyle is, it will affect what augments you use in order to finalize your personal playstyle. But I'm going to talk about augmenting as well as weapons and armors in a separate video because it just gets too complicated. Today's video, we're just going to be focusing on the classes. So the first class available is very simple. It is the Hunter. The Hunter is your very traditional tanky, brawler, melee, in-your-face type of character. They have a lot of defensive stats, however they can deal a lot of damage. So something unique about NGS is every single class is a DPS, a tank, as well as a support. There is no holy trinity in this game. If you're doing difficult content such as boss rushing or dungeons, there is no quote unquote, oh, you should be the tank, you should be the DPS, you should be the healer. everyone can fit into any single role. However, of course, the hunter is going to be more suited towards tanking simply because you have a lot of defensive capabilities in order to take that damage and soak up all of that damage without instantly dying. Now, something to keep in mind is that every single class can equip multiple weapons. So as you can see over here, the hunter can use the sword, the wired lances, as well as the partisan. So these are the 3 different weapon choices they can use, and you can see over here all 3 weapons have an orange background. This means that they are all melee weapons. So it's very simple to understand whether a weapon is a melee weapon, a ranged weapon, or a technique weapon by simply looking at the color of the background of said weapon. So if it's a melee weapon, it's going to have an orange background. If it's a ranged weapon, it's going to have a blue background, and if it's a technique weapon, it will have a yellow background. So the hunter class is a very well-rounded class. It's a very safe class. You can deal a lot of damage, you can take a lot of damage. It's one of the safest melee classes to play because of all your defensive capabilities. And the hunter is the only melee class which has a cheat death ability, which means if you do take a fatal hit, you will actually survive on 1 HP. Now this ability does have a 3-minute cooldown, but it is very, very powerful, and the hunter is the only melee class with an ability like this. The next class is the fighter. The fighter is basically the hunter, but screw defense and go all offense, and they can use the twin daggers, the double sabers, as well as knuckles. So the fighter is very in your face, it's very counter based, so you will need to practice a lot so that you can read all of the enemy's rotations so that you can counter them in order to take advantage to deal additional damage. Basically, the fighter is the hunter, but without any defensive capabilities and supercharged on the offensive side. So it's really, really fun. However, it's a little bit difficult to play, and it's very punishing if you do get hit, because if you get slapped around once or twice, you are likely dead. Next up is the Ranger. The Ranger can use an assault rifle as well as a rocket launcher, or just also known as a launcher in this game. Now with the Ranger class, you're going to be standing in the backline and you play more of a supportive role, mainly because you have this ability called Blight Round. Blight Round increases the team's damage by 30%, and thus Rangers are very welcome in any party simply because it just increases the entire party's DPS by 30% whenever you have the Blight Round. However, this does not mean that the Rangers do not deal damage. Rangers deal a crap ton of damage as well, however they sacrifice mobility for it. So just keep in mind that if you are playing a Ranger, you're going to be standing near the back lines. You're not going to be able to move as quickly as a hunter or a fighter because your main priority is going to be making sure that you land those Blight rounds, as well as just being a stationary cannon or a DPS and just blow things away. However, if the enemy manages to get into your face, then you're gonna have a rough time as a Ranger, as you do not have a lot of mobility. Next up is the Gunner. The Gunner has access to the assault rifle as well as the twin machine guns. Think of the Gunner as the offensive version of the Ranger. It's very similar to how the fighter is to the hunter. Basically, the Gunner just throws away all support out of the window. They're like, no, we don't want support, we just want to deal tons and tons of damage, and that is what the Gunner does. Now keep in mind, the Gunner does need to stay within mid-range. You can't stand as far back as a Ranger, as there is damage drop-off. So you do need to stay in the thick of things, not super close like melee range, but you will be in the middle of things. You will be weaving in and out quite a bit, like get close to the enemy in order to do some big combo, and then you weave out, and you're kind of dancing around the boss with your high mobility and staying out of harm's way while dealing a ton of damage, because like the Ranger, the Gunner does not have a lot of defensive capabilities. So if you do get slapped around once or twice, you will explode and die. Next up
Everybody, KWG here. Now, one of the major platforms. The Start Dash Rappy Pack is available on Steam, Microsoft Store, and the Epic Game Store, and also the in-game AC shop. It is available for $48.99, and it has a multitude of items that you might want to use. So we're going to go over what items that are in it and what their uses and purposes are, so that way you can make an informed decision on buying this, on whether or not it's going to be right for you. So first off, let's go over what's in the pack and what they do. The first item that's in the pack is the N Rappy Suit Full, which is a full set wear, which is an outfit that you can put on your character. Now, this is a consumable item that you can use, and you only get one of them per pack. So you'll need to be able to get two of them to be able to bind the Rappy suit onto your account, so that way it's usable on all of your characters. Now, one cool thing about this entire pack is you can actually buy all of the available items, including the suit, off of the Meseta player shop. By typing the name into the player shop, the N Rappy Suit FU, you'll be able to buy this off the player shop without actually needing to buy the actual pack itself. Or if you did wind up buying the pack, you'll be able to account bind the suit, so that way it's available for use on all of your characters. Moving on, you also wind up getting the idle rappy motion. Basically, this changes the way that your character idles in game by doing a little rappy dance, the same way that the rappies wind up doing in the open world of the game. You also wind up getting the motion glide, which changes the glide animation that everybody's been seeing me use throughout this entire video, as well as the intro of today's video as well. And you wind up getting another stamp, which is the Rappy Love stamp, which is an animated stamp which basically shows a rappy giving a heart to someone. Now, a couple of things about the glide and idle specifically is that you only need one of these items to be able to account bind into your account. So for whatever reason you did buy two of the same pack, one on Epic Games and maybe one on Steam, you then can sell the other two items in this pack while also still having it account bound. The stamp on the premium 30 days of material storage, and then it also comes with the N rare drop rate and N experienced earns 3 times of each of those. The premium does is it actually gives you an additional storage. It also allows you to be able to sell items on the current player market. It gives you 20 additional slots that can be used for the My Fashion tab to be able to save all of your fashion. It also gives you a 10% effect when using a max quick food in New Genesis. It also gives you some extra options when it comes to the screenshotting settings. And then it also gives you access to PSO 2 Day on the 22nd of every month. Those of you who are unaware what PSO 2 Day is and Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
Now, admittedly, you might be sitting there wondering to yourself,
Everybody, KWG here. Now, one of the users only. Now, going back to the Rappy pack, material storage is what you can also use to be able to take. I think that's worth using. However, you can obtain this in game for free. Already have them in. It's a really good quality of life feature, and personally I think that's worth any other storages you might already have them in. It's a really good quality of life feature, and personally I think that's worth using. However, you can obtain this in game for free with star gems, and star gems are usually given to us via in-game means, which right now is currently the red boxes, as well as any other in-game events that might be coming out in the future. But you also wind up getting a salon free pass and halfscape dolls, monotite, dual tri-night, photon chunks, and photon quartz. But to be completely honest with you, these are available for 1300 AC, which is the equivalent of $13 a month. And then material storage is available for 30 days in game for 300 star gems, which is basically the equivalent of also the fashion items that you wind up getting free in this case. Now, my personal opinion to you is I don't really think this particular pack is worth it, considering the fact that boosts are what make a majority of the pack the price that it is. And because the Rappy items can be actually purchased from the player shop from somebody who did wind up buying the pack or buying multiple packs, then for this particular pack, I'm gonna have to give this one a not worth it. While I did buy the pack because I kind of wanted the cosmetics, because that's just a collector that I am, for anybody who might be strapped on cash or thinking that this pack is incredibly necessary, I don't think so. Now, we are going to be getting another pack that's going to be coming out in some time in August. Based on what we know right now, I definitely think that that pack might be worth it. So save around $40 you would have used on this pack on that one. And I'll be making a video
Trial start.
No.